Hello guys, Miss Polar Bear here. Today we're going to talk about Chapter 10 of the Phantom Tollbooth called A Colorful Symphony. So this is one of my favorite chapters in the Phantom Tollbooth because it has one of my favorite and nearest, dearest to the heart quotes about our world. So we're going to get into that later, but for now let's start with our primary peeps. So our primary peeps are our characters who are going to be introduced in this chapter. So we have good old Milo and Talk, Humbug, who's on that journey with Milo, remember that, and Alec B, who is the floating boy. And what these guys are doing is they're running through the forest, having a good time, but Alec, the floating boy, he keeps crashing into the trees. Now, he sees the line of trees. However, the tree that's directly in front of him is invisible, so he keeps crashing into that one, but he can always see the trees in the line after. So if he has a line of 4 trees, he can't see the one that's directly in front of him, but he can see all the other ones behind them. And every time he goes through the invisible one, he keeps crashing into the one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that. So, after that, and after Alec recovers from his tree chaos, the Humbug goes, "Oh my gosh, we're lost," and he starts freaking out. But Alec, good old Alec, has the answer. He goes, "Oh no, silly Humbug, we aren't lost, we just know where they aren't." And this kind of confuses the Humbug and he kind of passes out. So then they come to the oxymoron character, who is that 4-man character in the woods, in the cottage in the woods. Now, we're zooming on oxymoron for a second. Now, an oxymoron is a phrase that contains 2 words that are polar opposites, but they're used to describe something together. For example, seriously funny. So when you think of the word serious, you think of kind of grouchy faced, you kind of think of something that shouldn't be laughed at and it should be taken completely direct and serious. So no laughing when it comes to the word serious. Then we have the word funny, which is the exact opposite. We can laugh, have fun, play games, and we don't have to be serious. However, when we put these 2 words together, seriously funny, it actually just means really hilarious. So if I was to say the comedian, "Oh wow, that comedian is seriously funny," it just means that this guy tells a lot of good jokes. He's really funny. He's really hilarious. So they go see him, and the man is a 4-way oxymoron. So he's known as the smallest giant, the largest midget, the fattest thin man, and the thinnest fat man. And the reason why he's described as these things is it's all about point of view. Remember, we learned about point of view in chapter 9 and all about perspective. And he goes, well, to some people, I'm a small giant, and to other people, I'm the largest midget. It's all in how people look at him. And it really makes Milo think about it for a second. So they pass that man in the little cottage. They're done with him, and they've got places to go. And Alec wants to show his new friends where to go. So there's these 2 places, these 2 cities, called reality and illusions. Now, they can be kind of confusing, so we're going to break them down. So reality is the real city. That's the city that Alec wants to take Milo to. However, they get distracted with illusions, which is a city trying to be like reality and comes across as being better, but really isn't. So the deal with reality, it's kind of like an invisible city. So when they get to reality, Milo goes, "What kind of a city is this? There's no buildings around." But he sees all these people walking fast and they seem to know where they're going. And so good old Alec with all the answers goes, "Hey Milo, this used to be a very beautiful city. It used to have great big trees and great big awesome skyscrapers and buildings, and people used to stop and look at how beautiful the city was. Until one day people decided to be in a hurry. And when people are in a hurry, they don't stop and look at the beauty. So the city just kind of disappeared. But people understood and memorized the paths that they were taking to get to their work or to get to wherever they wanted to be. So they just kind of memorized the invisible city." So that's the deal with reality and illusions. Finally, we get to our last place is the symphony. And Alec is super excited to show Milo this. So here's the deal with symphony. There's 1,000 musicians at sunset, and colors are changing rapidly because the sun is going down and is turning into nighttime. And this is where we meet Chroma, the Great, the conductor. And he's looking all professory and he's doing his conductor business, and the thousands of musicians are getting ready for the crescendo, they're getting ready for the end. But Milo has a question to Alex's point. Alex says, the musicians can't stop. And Milo goes, why? Because when the music stops, there's no color. And so Milo challenges the musicians, and the musicians stop, and the world is suddenly colorless. Norton Juster, the author, even says it looks like a blank coloring book with just lines everywhere. That's what they say it looks like, just lines without color. And this is why this is my favorite part of this chapter, is it kind of emphasizes the point where it says the world would be dull without color. Meaning, we're so blessed to have color in this life, and that's what makes life in the world so beautiful. And that's something that always stuck with me. And then Milo falls asleep on tomorrow's sheet music because he's so eager to read about the music that's happening in the morning. So this is the official Chapter 10, A Colorful Symphony Phantom Tollbooth review. Hope you enjoyed.